Welcome to a very special lesson from skiptheday.com. This is how to have a hot girl radar. Don't get blindsided ever again. There's nothing worse than when you think you're going to meet a 10 and the girl who shows up looks like her mother, her grandmother, or someone she'd probably never even met. It's really about monsters and murders, and this is one of the big ways with online dating that men and women are different. Women are afraid they're going to meet a creep from a movie who murders them. That's kind of the female fear. Men, we're just afraid we're going to meet someone who is huge or looks nothing like our pictures. So we want to alleviate that fear for you, and this is how you can make sure you never get tricked into meeting a whale. We really want 10 game only, and this means we're only looking for women that you think are beautiful, that you think are attractive. That's the scale. It's not about what I like, it's about what you like. You've seen tons and tons of pictures of what I like. Maybe you like the same things, maybe you like something different. But I only date women of exceptional beauty, and I get to define what's beautiful. So you need to decide what you want right now, what your standards are. Because if you don't set your standards in stone, you're going to let them drop, and you're kind of going to end up dating someone that's okay, but not what you really want. And I want you to be super happy and have someone that's amazing, so you feel great about your life. That's what I'm looking for. So let's talk about some of the sneaky tricks and how you can avoid the snares of the sneaky subpar woman. The first thing is fake pictures. It's not even her. A lot of girls do that. They find a picture of someone on the internet that she thinks is hot and puts it on her profile. Sometimes it'll be a celebrity. Every once in a while I'll recognize the celebrity. I'll go, that's not right. I know who that is. Sometimes they're sneakier and they'll pick like a Brazilian celebrity, for example. And what are the odds you're going to recognize that? Pretty slim. Another trick that women pull is the old fat girl angle. It's where she looks really hot. All of her pictures are from the boobs up, and her boobs always look huge. You never see her hands. You never see her legs. You never see the rest of her body. It's always face and boobs. And pretty much you can be huge, like 1,000 pounds, and you'll still look good in this angle if it's taken right. Another classic example is the old pictures. She used to be hot. All of her pictures are 2 years old or even more. On average, everyone's pictures on online dating sites are 2 years old. That's the average age of the pictures anywhere. My pictures are actually older than that now. I've just never changed them. I have one that's a year old. But I took the picture and put it on the next day, but now I haven't bothered to change my pictures in a year. I just can't be bothered. But there's a lot of girls, the first day they join, and they'll immediately start using pictures from college. They're 25 now, and they don't look the same at all. It's been a rough couple of years, so they want to kind of what they wish they still look like. Another classic example here, and this is a real photo, is the fake facing away. You think, oh no, she's one of the hot ones that's just looking away because she wants to hide her identity, she needs to protect who she is, she has to keep it a secret, or, it's kind of the mystery, and we get drawn into these tricks. And I wish those were only 4, but in fact there's 4 more things that they do. Another one is the headless photo. You think, oh, she must be famous or super beautiful and be recognizable, so she's hiding her identity, or maybe she's just hiding a horse face. Another classic example is the group shot. This is what girls do. Usually in a group shot, it's the worst looking one, about majority of the time. Every once in a while, it's the hot one, but does the girl look as good when she's by herself? A lot of times, like here, all 3 of these girls look better because they're in this group shot. Separately, each of them is less attractive than in the group. There's something about that. A really popular trick is this hair trick where she hides part of her face behind the hair. Maybe what she's hiding is a Phantom of the Opera size scar. You don't know. And another thing women can do is Instagram a photo so much that you can't really tell. All you can really tell from this photo is that she's got a great figure. Her face could be anything, right? But who's looking at the face? Let's be honest. We're so drawn in. This is a really great photo. Because it's so powerful, right? It draws you in, and you're just going to assume her face is really good because the rest of the picture is so good. There's no way that if this girl walked in the room, you would recognize her based on her face. So that's how you know. If you take away the rest of the photo, block it with your hand, and show just her face, you can't see anything. And that's full size. So why do we fall for these types of tricks? And this is the same reason that nightclubs are dark. It's because women look better in the dark. Our brains are trained to filter incomplete data with our desires. So the darker it is, when we can't really see, our brain goes, okay, whatever we can't see, we're going to assume it's really, really good. That's what we do with those missing pieces. We just assume whatever we can't see is hot. It's better looking than the rest of her. Her best parts are what's hidden in shadow. And that's because we're filled with hope. We're not cynical guys. We're guys filled with hope, and we hope that she's going to be really good looking. So that's kind of what's happening and what causes us to get caught up. So why do girls do this? Why do girls put up these sneaky photos? It's not the perfect crime. You're going to figure it out when you meet her. One of the tricks is they're trying to use what's called pre-attraction. She basically wants to get you so attracted to her by these pictures that when you meet her, you'll be like, she's not as hot, but she used to be hot. Or, you know what I mean? You kind of have your turn, basically you're already turned on when you meet her. That's what she wants. Her second plan is that her personality is so good, right? She's thinking, hey, this guy would never talk to me if he really knew what I look like. So let him get to know my personality, fall in love with my personality, then he gets to meet the real me. And there's a couple reasons that sucks. Number one, she's assuming that you're superficial and that you wouldn't like the real her, and she's kind of saying some pretty negative things about your character. But also, I mean, that's really, really sneaky. And it doesn't work, I usually, when a girl does this to me, I'm so bothered by the fact that she was so dishonest that nothing else matters. And the next thing is that she's taking advantage of your fear of public embarrassment. She thinks that if she shows up in a date for a restaurant, these girls love to say, hey, meet me in the restaurant. They show up 10 minutes late because they want you sitting in the chair at the restaurant. So when they come and join you, there's nothing you can do. You're trapped, right? So unless you're going to make a huge scene, you can't break the date, and you're stuck on a date with a girl that you didn't know you were on a date with. And the fourth reason is the fact that she thinks you're a pussy. She thinks that you're so weak that once she gets there and kind of has some control and she's manipulating the situation, that you'll just accept it. Also, that it's kind of a double meaning, and also the fact that, once you're on a date with her and you think you're going to get laid, you're like, I'd rather sleep with her than nobody tonight, right? That's the fourth trick. And let's be honest, we all feel that way. A couple of glasses of wine, you're like, fuck it, I still want to get laid, so boom. That's how girls do it. It's how they trick you. You want to train your radar. I'm going to teach you how to use the logical part of your brain. The first trick is so powerful, I can't describe it. I like to drink, and sometimes when I'm traveling around or I'm in a bar, I'll get super drunk, and I used to think, I want to make sure I don't wake up next to a girl that's bigger than me. That's what I wanted to trick for. I was like, I got to think of something that works even when I'm drunk. Okay, and that's what's great about this trick. You want to look at her bicep, and really what I look for is I look right where a t-shirt ends. When she's any type of short sleeve gives us this information. I look right there, and I can always tell if it's too big. That's all I look at. Wrists, it's too hard and too tricky. Sometimes girls are wearing an amazing dress and you can't see what's going on. And I've seen a lot of girls that are stunning and wear dresses that make their bodies look terrible. But you cannot do anything to trick the upper arm. So this works really well in person, so you can use that a lot as well when people are trying to trick you with what they're wearing or when you've had a couple of drinks. And look at her photo. Most girls in their photos, they don't think about hiding this part of their body. A lot of times, if you look at a girl and you look at how big her boobs are, take a look at her arm. Okay, that diameter is going to be a big giveaway that she's overweight. You also want to look at her worst picture. Classic example is a girl's got 5 skinny pictures and 1 fat picture. I guarantee you the fat picture is the recent one. Okay, I'm a fat guy right now. I'm trying to get back in shape. I'm doing a lot of wakeboarding, and I'm trying to get back into Insanity again. It's a great program. I did it before and lost a bunch of weight. So let's say I get cut. I get a 6-pack for the first time in my life. And you think I'm going to put up a picture of when I used to be fat on my profile? Are you kidding me? Of course not. But right now I'm fatter than I was a year ago. That's why I'm doing this exact trick. I'm completely guilty of this because I haven't changed my photos. I keep picture of when I was skinnier. Not a lot skinnier, but a little bit. And that's exactly what it is. If there's one picture where she looks fat, that's the realest picture. Whichever picture she looks the worst in, that's what she's going to look like when you meet her. She's got 6 great photos. That just means she's good with Photoshop and she, has these different situations, but don't fall for it. And the last thing you want to do is be proactive. This is the really most powerful thing. This is what I do. If you're wondering how I got all those photos where girls are holding up signs either saying the last author or skip the date, it's because whenever I start contacting a girl, I say, look, I need a real picture. And I send out a message to every girl. I started doing this recently just to prove to some buddies. I was like, no, these are real. These are real girls sending me real pictures. And they were like, well, how can you prove it? And if I just say hold a cup, everyone's got a picture of a girl holding a cup. So what I say is take a picture right now. And you can do different things. I usually say take a picture making a peace sign. Take a picture where you have your thumb touching your chin. Whatever you want to do. You got to say something specific so that she won't just have it in a collection. And nothing's more specific than writing something on a sign. That's one of the ways to do it. Another really powerful trick And I tell you, when a girl pushes back, that's a dead giveaway. Something's up. If a girl won't take a picture right now, and you could, think about if you've got someone kidnapped, you want proof of life, you want today's newspaper. So say, take a picture of today's newspaper, and you can just say, look, I've been tricked by a couple of girls that had fake profiles. Can you just take a picture with this? And say something. You can make it something random. Say, take a picture right now, and most girls will do it. Any girl that's real will send you a real picture. Okay. At this point, when she's talking to you, it's only the really sneaky girls that know they're trying to trick you that won't do it. One of the other things, if you're too nervous to do all that stuff, or you don't kind of want to blow it because she's so hot, I get that. What I say is, on our way to our date, I'll usually say like a half hour before a meeting, hey, text me a picture of you in your outfit right now, so I'll recognize you in the crowd. I'm really not good at recognizing faces, so I'm nervous that I won't recognize you. This is a classic, and it works every time. Every single time a girl says, no, you're just about to see me, she is not going to look like what you think. If she won't send you the picture, my advice is cancel the date. In fact, you know what? Even better, go on the date, and then I want you to message me and tell me if I was right. I want to see if anyone ever, the girl refuses to send the picture, and then she's still good looking. Because she's planning on, she's just about to make her move. It's like she's just about to pull the magic trick. Why would she give it away 20 minutes before she's going to fool you? So she's going to push back super hard and give tons of reasons. Okay, when I was in high school and I first started online dating and messing around, and I was using like the AOL member directory and keyword searches, nobody had digital photos, okay? Back then, if you wanted a girl to have a digital photo, she would have to take like a Polaroid, then go to Kinko's and get it scanned in. And now Kinko's isn't even called that anymore. They're called like the FedEx store or the UPS store or something, So that's, maybe it's FedEx, Kinko's, yeah, something weird like that, right? So that tells you how long ago this was. This is a good, almost 20 years ago now. So this was back in the day, yeah, girls didn't have pictures, okay? There was a reason. Now, there's no justification. Every single girl in a Western nation has a digital phone. And there's nobody, no matter what she says, who doesn't have a friend who can snap a photo right away, okay? Every single person is within 1 degree of separation with someone with an iPhone or an Android phone. So any excuse she gives you, a lot of girls will be like, oh, my phone's broken, or I don't have a digital camera. That's ridiculous. I don't trust that stuff. I'm very skeptical, and maybe I'm a little bit too skeptical. This is how I avoid falling for stuff. So you got to be a little bit proactive. How hard is it? If I said to you right now, take a photo with your camera, and the next 2 minutes I'll give you $10,000, you would find a way to do it. Everyone would. So it's a level of motivation, and it's kind of a sign that she's not that interested if she's not willing to kind of do something simple. And also, to be honest with you, a lot of times when I'm meeting a girl, I don't remember what she looks like. I've definitely walked up to the wrong girl on online dates. A lot of times. Like a lot of times I've thought it's the wrong girl. Oh man, I've been on so many dates where I'm like, oh God, please don't let that be the girl. Please don't let that be the girl. And she's like walking past the table and you're praying it's not her. Oh man, that's happened to me a lot. So that's why I started developing this system so that would stop happening to me. So go proactive. This is the best test. Check the arms. Definitely powerful. That works all the time. Number 2, look at her worst picture because, and always assume it's the worst girl in a group picture. All that stuff is really true. Look for sneaky angles. Be like, there's no picture where you can see full body. There's no pictures where you can see her feet. Those are really important. And then just go proactive. Once you're texting her back and forth, she should be totally comfortable sending you a few real pictures just to prove who she is. So that's really the power of the Hot Girl Radar. It's really simple, but it's really going to save you a lot of heartache and grief if you take the time and don't get blindsided ever again.